This is the RoWood 3D plastic puzzle. It is a mechanical scorpion. So the box says ROKR, mechanical age, Emperor Scorpion. So I received this from the Amazon Vine Voice review program to review for free. If you wanted to buy it, it would cost you $65. Now, they have not paid me for my review, and so my opinions are my own. Okay, we have this nice kind of translucent design and illustration of what it's going to look like when you're done. And inside we have a large number of individually bagged, labeled with some bag numbers, parts that are mostly either done in specific colors of plastic or somewhat painted. We have a relatively large instruction booklet here, which is pretty detailed in the total number of things they have on it. We have a base that has what looks like a USB-C port here and a button. Has place for batteries on and off on the bottom, so it looks like it has some powered features like lights and motors. And we have a box which probably has the powered features. Alright, so we have here a tool set which has looks like a little sanding thing, a pair of plastic tweezers, and a super tiny, looks like a Phillips-ish, maybe a Japanese screwdriver. We also have a whole set of badges, motors, gears, screws, very tiny little pieces here to assemble. So the interesting one here looks to be a USB port that looks like it's going to plug into that, with a whole bunch of little connection jacks and various motors and lights that have connection jacks that plug into these guys to make things animate. So this is a pretty involved kit that has motorized and light up parts in addition to all of the plastic parts here. And it looks like we're going to need some tools like some clippers, some sanders, things like that to assemble this. Alright, this manual has instructions in multiple different languages, and so it looks pretty long, but some of that is because some of these are repeated in different languages. But it is pretty involved, so you know, when they say 14 plus, they're not kidding. This is definitely a 14 plus project. It says that the nipple clippers are not included, and it also says grease is not included. I haven't found the point where you need grease. I believe everything else snaps together. I don't believe you need to supply any glue, but I'll figure that out for sure once I start putting it together. Okay, this build took me 165 minutes, about 2.7 hours. I'm mechanically inclined, but I'm not, a professional model builder by any stretch of the imagination. The instructions were impeccable. I had absolutely no questions about how or what to do things. Only times there were problems was when I had not read one of the many lines of text in the instructions telling me what I was supposed to do. They provide the necessary tools here. You will need some nippers to get everything out of the sprues, and it's optional, but I found having some small files was nice to have, so some small needle files might be useful. They do include a sandpaper bit that gets most of the spots you would need to. So if you follow the directions, you get this little guy here. And it looks nice. This is a premium little desktop model. So if you've watched the review through to this point, you're probably the type of person who says, yes, this price point, take my money now. Now, I can understand there are people who would be like, you paid how much money so you could do 3 hours of work and all you have left over is a piece of plastic that sits on the shelf and takes up space in my house. So depending on what type of person you are is if you want to spend money for a device like this. But I enjoyed putting it together. It was nice. And I'm going to leave you with the entire animation sequence because I'm sure somebody put a lot of effort into it. All right, it looks like about 3.5 minutes total for the animation sequence here before it shuts off.